Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got another Halloween set today. We've got shade 721 from Venalisa. Here we've got 3007, which of course is my white from Cloud Beauty. We've got a transfer foil gel, and here are the transfer foils that we're going to use. I just thought they were so stinking cute and we had to use them today. And then I decided to pick up this glitter because it was the most suitable to the set, if you want to say that. So I usually like to kind of pick up glitters that match the colors I'm using, just to kind of bring all the colors together. So of course orange was going to be the way today. So usually I'll probably pick up an orange or possibly a black, because we do have a few like black nail art in the design today. So black glitter would also work in case you're kind of trying to recreate this set but don't have the same glitter color, for example. So now we are going to apply our base colors, of course. So we've got two shades of that orange. We are going to have one nail of the white, and then the other two nails are going to be some DIY orange. So I am going to wipe my brush here. So what I did is I placed some of that white and some of that orange on my plate, and I kind of mixed it up, as you can see there already, and I created this paler shade of the the orange. I don't know what's going on with me today. I feel like I just can't talk, really. I just feel like random colors, random words are coming out my mouth. So please just ignore me today. So I kind of created my own shade. So you have to watch out. You don't want to like contaminate the colors. So me, for example, here, I'm using my brush from the bottle. So once you're done, make sure you wipe away as much as possible of that brush and make it as clean as possible before you pop it back into your gel polish, because you don't want to make it, purpley orange or whatever color, like pink, and then mess it all up. Especially when you have a big bottle. Recently, I think by accident I placed a pink brush into my white gel polish ball, so that was a bit of a pain. But luckily I managed to save it. It was a full bottle of white gel polish. Can you believe that? That was very silly of me. So now that we've had them all cured, I've already applied a second layer as well, and that I believe has been cured as well. I am now applying some transfer foil gel only on the two lighter orange shades. So only those two are going to have the transfer foil applied. So I'm going to pop them into the lamp for 60 seconds. And I usually like to do that. I can't remember what the actual instructions say, so make sure you actually read the instructions for the design itself. Not the design, the transfer foil itself, because that's quite important in kind of helping you get the correct transfer and make it, an easy experience, if you wish. So on one of the darker orange nails, I placed some glossy top coat, and we're going to sprinkle on some of that glitter. So you can sprinkle it on, and as you can see, the glitter is so similar to the actual shade of the nail gel polish that you can't actually tell the difference, which is great. Sometimes in my videos I do slightly different shades, but the glitter usually covers the whole nail and you can't tell what the color is unless you obviously flip your fingers upside down. Oh yeah, and here I had a bit of a noopsie. I clearly applied way too much transfer foil gel and it crinkled up. But I was quite upset, and I really didn't want to redo those nails because I had to mix up that colour, and I already kind of used all of it. So I decided to leave it, and I tried to transfer some foil on top of that anyways, and it worked. And you can't almost tell at all that it's wrinkled up. So we managed to save it, which is great. So now we're working on our white nail. I'm using a nail art brush. I'm going to dip into that darker orange that we've got from the bottle, and you want to create two lines going down the nail. They have to be apart, so you kind of want to create a vibe where it's kind of like white, orange, white, orange, white. So this is what it looks like once I'm done with it. I've done it off camera, and I believe I did go ahead with a second layer. I can't remember, but I might have. It'll probably all depend down to basically how opaque your gel polish is. So if you're using some nail art gel, for example, then that would be absolutely great, and you probably can only do one layer. But when you're using some gel polishes, sometimes some of them can be a bit sheer, and you probably want to go with a second layer. So here I'm going to do some nail art drawings here. So we're going to do like a little pumpkin vibe. So I'm doing two triangles next to each other. So those are going to be the eyes. We are going to colour them in. It feels like I haven't done like actual nail art in a long time. So the triangles themselves are going to be the easy bit. So this is where it's going to get a bit trickier with the mouth, just because I feel like it's quite hard to imagine where to place it, and sometimes I feel like I've placed it too low or too high and it just doesn't work. So you kind of want to outline like a smiley face first. So here, for example, I'm kind of fixing it up to make it a bit more symmetrical and how I wanted it. And luckily we're also going to colour in the mouth, so don't worry about how thick your line is going to be, because we're going to colour it up and you won't be able to tell what it used to be. So once you've got your kind of smiley face drawn, you want to finish it up at the top. I kind of skipped it, but it's in the background. There it is, already cured and everything. I clearly did it off camera. And here I showed you guys that I tried to transfer as a little tester and it worked. So I just thought I'm just going to wing it, go with it, and hopefully everything's going to be fine. And once we top coat, you can't really tell at all that you've got a little wrinklage going on. So that saved my day today. So now, whilst obviously we were working on that pumpkin nail, those were chilling in the background. So the transfer foil gel itself has like kind of cooled down now, so it's going to be so much easier to actually transfer the foil. So I'm just kind of scraping down and, you know, pushing with my fingers. I always do my fingers. It's just my preferred way of transferring foils. I know some people use some tools, some people don't, are completely against kind of using your fingers. It's all kind of down to you. I feel like it's a try and error. Find what works best for you, you know, and as long as it works for you, that's all that matters. Don't worry what other people say. So I'm just going to press it down and then take this bad boy off. So as you can see, I'm kind of not really having any issues. I'm just scraping it down and I'm slowly, you know, kind of taking it away, and if I'm seeing that any area hasn't transferred, I'm popping it back and kind of trying to re-scrape that little area until I'm happy and it properly transferred. So we do have some stamping, very minimal really. So I'm using my Born Pretty polish to stamp today. We've got this little plate. I can't remember who it's from, but I'll have it linked in the description. It's somewhere from AliExpress, and it had these spider webs, which I thought I could use in today's video. You might say that maybe there's too much going on. It feels like every nail has something, so you could leave this nail completely blank and just keep it orange, just matte top coat it and leave it simple. Or you can go the extra mile like I always do, because I never know when to stop, and do some extra stamping or some extra other decorations. So I stamped the web at the top, and then I wanted to pick up a little line to kind of mimic the spider coming down. So there's that little line there. So I'm getting rid of any excess that I don't want, and I'm going to have to precisely stamp this so that it literally looks like it's part of the actual spider web there, which I feel like I managed fairly well. And I had a little image that had a spider on it, which I thought was perfect. So I picked up just the spider there. I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to stamp it in a way that, once again, it's going to look like it's kind of coming down the nail from that spider web, if you know what I mean. So you have to be quite careful there, trying to get it aligned and exactly where you want it. There we are. And there it is. So it looks like the spider's kind of coming down from the top of the nail. And then using some Miley nail prep liquid, I kind of clean up any area that I don't want, because this is stamping polish. So although it dried, you can actually go ahead and kind of wipe away anything that has even already dried, because this is just polish. So this is very easy to kind of get rid of. You could also use some acetone too if you wanted to. So now it's time to top coat these nails. So I'm using some Venalisa matte top coat, and I'm just going to cover them all up. I like to kind of float them on top of the nails, or you could do, I don't actually know any other methods, but yeah, you could just do the matte top coat or the glossy. You don't have to do matte, but I don't know, I just feel like matte right now it's the season for matte, so I'm just constantly doing matte nails, and it just kind of works. I feel like when you do nail designs, I feel like eventually you kind of appreciate matte so much that you end up kind of getting drawn to it so much more. It just feels like it kind of makes the design pop more, even though you might think that it mutes it since you're matte top coating, but in my opinion it kind of brings out the design more personally. So once I'm happy, I'll pop them into the lamp, so you'll see that in just a second. There we are, they are now matte top coated, looking all nice and cute. So those nails there, I was like, right, I need to fit some crystals. Clearly still thought like it was all way too bad for me still. So I've got some Macart rhinestone glue gel, and I'm just going to dab away in between those little images that we transferred. Just anywhere that you've got a little gap, you can do it as much as possible or as kind of spread out as possible. It's all down completely to you, or just completely skip this step if you really want to. It's completely unnecessary, but I was clearly seeking something sparkly to add to this nail design, so I'm just going to scatter those crystals in between their little images, and that's kind of it. So I'm going to repeat that exact same thing on the other nail, and then I go ahead and cure it, and job done. So instead of doing it my way, when you're doing it for a client, it's probably best that you apply the crystals before matte top coating. So the best way would be probably to apply your rhinestone glue gel and then float the top coat on top and then place your crystals. I think that would be probably the best idea to do, because this way, if you're doing crystals on top of a top coat, it probably won't stay on very long. So if you want to kind of work on, helping your crystals stay on longer, then I'll probably recommend that method. But of course, for today's video, it's just design purposes, just to give you guys inspiration and ideas and, I don't know, spark some inspo in you. So I'm just going to do it on top of the matte top coat. It just makes my life so much easier doing it that way. So I'm just gonna place away, and also with the foil that we used today, I sometimes used to look at those foils as really hard ones to work with because of the images. So what you can do is actually kind of cut out the images themselves and place them the way you want them, or you could just do what I did today, which is just randomly place it down and just let the images do its thing on the nail and have it as the foil kind of spread out the images. It's kind of up to you. But yeah, I remember when I first looked at the foil, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this foil? But yeah, just place it down and let it be. And it looks just fine, which is great. So that nail is almost done. I'm going to pop it into the lamp, and I think they look so cool. I'm so excited for you guys to see these. There we go. So I'm just going to pop the whole set into the lamp one more time. And here are the final result. I love it. I love the orange. I'm obsessed with this set. It's super simple, super easy. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.